Yeah, sorry to everyone about the late video. Been a bit busy recently. Had a lot going on. If you've been seeing the shots, you'll see I've been training as well a lot at the moment. So yeah, right. We'll get into it now. Please like, subscribe, support your boy. The channel's new. We're trying to grow. Um, we're trying to make moves. So basically, let's get into it. AJ versus Ngannou. We know how that went. I'm sure all of you know how that went by now. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, so this video is super late. So we all know about how that went, and well done to Anthony Joshua. I think he showed fantastic sportsmanship afterwards. Ngannou, rough night, rough day at the office, but this is how it goes. This is how the game is. It can happen to anyone, the best of you, the best of us. You can get caught. So that's what happened. He got caught. His guard was open. I guess credit to Anthony Joshua and his team for analysing Ngannou's previous fight against Tyson Fury and figuring out the holes in his game from there and capitalising on them and whatnot. So I think they done well for that. Yeah, that's it really. Nothing more to be said on that one. The way I see it is that it was like two snipers looking down each other at a barrel. You know, whoever gets shot first, it was over. We knew it was a high level striking bout. Both of them had knockout power in either hand, and it could have happened to either guy at any time. But at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua came out the gate fast. Probably the quickest start I've ever seen from him in his whole career. I think it goes to show that he was a bit on edge there, and he took the threat of Ngannou quite seriously, and he turned up. So well done to Joshua. Right, co-main event with Zhang as well. I thought was pretty good. I gave that to Zhang, but I didn't watch it back over again. I probably need to watch it back over a second time. But originally I gave it to Zhang. But well done to Parker. And yeah, it was a good night of fights. On to now the UFC 299. O'Malley versus Cheeto Vera. We'll start off with the main event there. That was interesting. I'm disappointed Cheeto didn't really get to pull out the gate there, and I thought his team and his coach really let him down there. They were terrible, and the advice they were giving him was terrible. I mean, I hate it when I see a coach turn around and go, "Oh, you're in round 5. This is your last and final round." I mean, their hopes and their dreams, their life, their career, they got everything on the line. I think they know what fucking round they're in. It's ridiculous when they do that crap. But this is what you had from Cheeto Vera's corner, which was terrible. Sean O'Malley took the fight naturally quite seriously, obviously because he wanted to avenge what he felt wasn't a loss. And he ended up piecing up Vera. I didn't think it was the most spectacular performance as everyone else did, and as all the commentators did, but whatever. That's my opinion. What do I know? I'm only but a fighter. What do I fucking know? But I thought O'Malley could have done a little bit more personally. He didn't get. I thought really and truly he didn't get Cheeto out of there, but Cheeto's tough. Taking that into consideration. So I give that to O'Malley as well. But yeah, 5 rounder, of Cheeto getting pieced up pretty much majority of the rounds until the very last bell, to the very last second of the last bell where he got him with a body shot that did drop O'Malley, which was decent, and then made us think, oh my god, what would have happened had Cheeto had actually turned up a little bit more, which we didn't get to see. And this is what I mean about the coaches and the corner of Cheeto. Why were you not saying more like, let's turn up, guys. Like, it's time to turn up. It's time to show up at the fight. Come on, you're there now. Like, this is your shot. Like, it's your last shot. Like, give it your all now. Like, I didn't get to see enough out of that, enough of that urgency out of Cheeto's corner. So I think that let Cheeto down. But anyway, Dustin Portlet against Saint Denis, I think it was, a French name. I don't really remember it too tough. I've probably fucked it up, You guys can hammer me in the comment sections. My apologies. But yeah, that was alright. That was alright. Dustin showed up. I never really counted Dustin out. Everyone goes, oh, he's an older guy, the older boys can't do it, but skills pay the bills, man. At the end of the day, if you know what you're doing, you've been in there. I mean, Dustin's been in there with the best of them, and I knew that as the rounds were going to go on anyway, that this guy was going to struggle, like most guys do, keeping up with Dustin's insane cardiovascular. So, yeah, I didn't think I'd knock out so early though in round two. Shout out to Dustin, man. He's got bad boy hands, man. Again, underrated hands in the game. And that was everything that it should have been, and he really lived up to expectations and all and more. So well done to Dustin. MVP versus Kevin Holland. MVP wasn't too impressed with his performance. I wasn't fully. The only reason I wasn't fully is because I felt that what he had done was he had done things in a way that he was a little bit too cocky. He was a little bit too chauvinistic, which again is part of his style and I like, and everyone likes. But at the same time, coming to the UFC so early on, I thought I'd just see him take it a little bit more seriously. But so he turned up anyway. So, he did turn up, but, I would have preferred to have just seen a little bit more discipline in being in the UFC. But I think, as always, very entertaining. He kept people entertained. And he does that. That's part of his style as well, and that's why people love MVP. I'm very interested to know how much he was signed actually to the UFC for. That's something that hasn't really come out yet. But it's nice to see him in there mixing with the best of the guys now. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I know they're already talking about that fight in the mix. I was thinking about it while I was watching the fight, that would be a good little fight. But Kamaru Usman has already snuffed that idea of that. I understand why Usman says that, it's two styles that are similar counteract to each other. So I get that. But at the same time, yeah, you know, I want to see it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'm very interested to see who he's going to be working with up in the rankings as well. When he's going to be climbing up these rankings, that's going to be really interesting as well. I haven't got the rankings in front of me right now, but I'll do another video later on suggesting who, what I think would be interesting fights for MVP. But I'm very interested to see him in the UFC. And everyone's gassed, because they feel that he's one of the best out of Britain, and he definitely is one of the best out of Britain. But there's more talent here, people. There's more talent here. Come on. He's not the only one. So it'd be nice if the rest of the talent in the UK could get scouted and get a shot. But, that's a story for a different time. Gilbert Burns, wow, yeah, wasn't really happy about that. Yeah, disappointed to see Gilbert Burns lose that one, but, he went out on his shield. I felt like he was just doing a bit too much ground game. That overhand right, I thought he could have set that up a bit more nicely. and that could have paid for him. I didn't feel that Jack really had his ticket in the striking department, but I feel like Gilbert Burns wanted to kind of demonstrate and show us a bit more out of other aspects of the game. But yeah, I thought he was grabbing a bit more than I had seen from Burns previously. So that's my only critique on that. It is what it is, you know. Um, the guy who beat him now gets to go up in the rankings, and we get to see, you know, what he's going to do against top level contenders and opponents. So that's interesting. Peter Yan, yeah, I wasn't really impressed with that showing at all. But it wasn't the worst fight ever, you know. But it wasn't, you know, I feel anything much to talk about. But it was a good starter for the main card anyway. So and Young got a win over that. I don't really see too much for him right now in the division. He's got to make a bit more noise. I feel, you know, if I'm 100% honest. If I want, yeah, that's just me. What do I know? But yeah, right. So I will be doing some other videos as well, and some updates and some other news, more personal news. And yeah, I will also be doing updates as well on what I think about on matchups as well. And there'll be some other news, so stay tuned, people. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Swift out. Peace and love to you all.